You feel that? That electric pulse running through every corner of Crypto.com arena, whispered louder than ever this off-season, because while Lakers Nation is busy chasing the latest blockbuster rumors and roster shakeups, one question keeps nagging: will Rui Hachimura be back in purple and gold before the 2025-26 season even tips off? Welcome back to Lakers News Fan Report, where raw truths collide with purple and gold passion. Smash that like button, subscribe, and ring the bell so your heart never misses a beat. Now, hold tight, because the answer isn't as clear-cut as we'd hope, but we've got the pulse from the inside, and it's full of tension. Jovan Buha, the NBA insider, who's as plugged in as it gets, dropped a bombshell recently. Don't count on Hachimura's extension landing in the next 6 weeks. Yeah, you heard that right. Buha's intel tells us that, for now, the Lakers' front office is laser-focused on maintaining cap flexibility, wanting to see exactly where Rui fits, starter or sixth man. How does he mesh with the star power of LeBron James, Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and the emerging pieces like Gabe, Vincent, and Jackson Hayes? And that's the sticking point. It's a balancing act, not unlike the chess moves that defined the Showtime era or the Pau Gasol trade that sparked the 2010 championships. But here's where it gets tricky. Rui wasn't just a fill-in last season. He started 57 out of 59 games and averaged a solid 13.1 points on over 50% shooting, plus 5 rebounds a night. In a conference that's a brutal war zone, think Golden State's endless sharpshooters or Phoenix's dynamic frontcourt, having a reliable wing like Hachimura is crucial. Yet, this Lakers team isn't just chasing consistency, they're chasing a title. So keeping the books clean feels like a necessary gamble. You might ask, with that production, why the hesitation? Well, durability has been a minor thorn. The east to west coast change hasn't been flawless. And despite steady defense improvements, there's no guarantee it sticks. Dan Woik from The Athletic paints the scenario: another strong season. And Hachimura's a multi-year guy, even if it cramps future flexibility. But if his defense plateaus or his shooting cools, the Lakers might cut bait mid-season, especially with new depth signings like Jake LaRavia, who's ready to plug minutes at forward, sharing time recently split with Jared Vanderbilt. So is the front office hedging, keeping options open as Pelinka maneuvers this high-stakes Western Conference arms race? The Lakers are facing pressure from formidable rivals while juggling LeBron's twilight years and AD's injury status. Cap space is a precious commodity, and every contract extension is a headline gamble. But here's the detail no one's talking about. The defensive improvements aren't just numbers on a sheet. They could be the key to whether Hachimura becomes an untouchable asset or just trade fodder. This team once built dynasty runs around defensive tenacity and high IQ role players. Could Rui be next in that lineage? And can he stay healthy long enough to claim that mantle? The stakes couldn't be higher. Will this be a quiet extension signed in the shadow of bigger headlines, or a dramatic move that signals the Lakers' commitment to a new core beyond LeBron's era? I'm telling you, the roster buzz, the buyout market whispers, and the clock ticking to training camp make this storyline one to watch, because every signature here shapes the championship calculus. As a lifelong Lakers believer, I can't help but feel we're on the edge of something massive, a crossroads where loyalty, potential, and ambition collide in real time. But is this the move that launches a new Lakers era, or the gamble that haunts us for years? Drop your unfiltered takes in the comments. I'll be right there, heart in hand. You feel that thunder reverberate through the bones of Crypto.com arena like a pulse of raw electricity, like the crackle before a lightning strike splitting the LA sky wide open at game time. That's more than just the roar of Lakers Nation. Hungry for answers. It's the relentless heartbeat of a city holding its breath, caught in the vortex between fading legends and the seismic tectonics of a new era. This is the stage where destinies are forged in sweat and scars, where every chant, every cheer is a battle cry echoing off the rafters hung with championship banners, reverberating through those hushed electric moments before the ball drops. The tension is a living beast, stalking these hardwood jungles where ghosts of showtime flash past, Magic spinning his no-look passes, Kobe's Mamba intensity burning like wildfire, Pau landing with ice-cold precision just when it mattered most. The DNA of relentlessness screaming through every play and every decision now. And yet, here we are, gripping every whisper, every hesitant move from the front office like it's the last hope of the purple and gold reclaiming the throne. As we stare down the calendar's shrinking window, it's not just a contract on the line, it's a defining pivot point for the Lakers franchise, a precarious tightrope walk between embracing the gritty grind of the present and carving out a clear vision for the post-LeBron saga. Rui Hachimura's potential extension isn't just ink on paper. It's a seismic statement, a moment that could cement a core around which this team either builds a siege on the West or crumbles under the weight of indecision and what-ifs. And make no mistake, the heat is turning up fast. Inside the locker room, murmurs of uncertainty ripple beneath the surface, veterans eyeing how the young blood fits into the grand design, coaches strategizing lineups that need seamless chemistry but also explosive firepower. Every practice session a chess match where one misstep could cascade into a disjointed season. LeBron, that force of nature nearing the twilight of a career once thought unstoppable, is navigating the fine line between myth and mortality. Every step carefully measured against the relentless clock of age and injury. Anthony Davis, our defensive titan who can alter the spine of any game, is a conundrum wrapped in potential frustration. The fragility of his frame is a constant shadow, haunting the Lakers' championship dreams, a mystery of whether he'll be the unshakable anchor or the unpredictable wild card. And stand back because Pelinka's moves, silent, calculated, sometimes maddeningly coy, are like ripples in a pond that explode into tidal waves weeks after the fact. His unwillingness to rush seals or discard pieces is a tactical gamble, bleeding tension into the atmosphere, making every rumor and quiet signing feel like potential game changers or quietly devastating setbacks. Meanwhile, the Western Conference is an unforgiving landscape littered with giants and hungry wolves, the Denver Nuggets lurking with their twin towers ready to bulldoze contenders, the Phoenix Suns swirling a cocktail of youth and experience that can blow up any lineup, the Golden State Warriors, surgically precise killers sharpening their blades with every practice, and the Los Angeles Clippers scrambling to rewrite their story with patchwork rosters and desperation-fueled gambits. This relentless pressure cooker environment means every Hawaii-born catch-and-shoot, every defensive rotation, every dash and dive Rui makes could swing monumental consequences, not just slotting him into the rotation, but deciding the Lakers' narrative for years to come. You can almost feel the floor vibrate beneath the banners as the questions multiply faster than answers. What if Rui's defensive growth is the key to unlocking a new defensive identity, a lockdown presence to inherit the spirit of perimeter disruptor that gave us those title runs? What if he stabilizes, morphing into a cornerstone that balances the roster's offensive bravado and defensive grit? But what if his health continues to waver, that niggling inconsistency eroding trust and forcing Pelinka's hand before the ink's dry? And here's the clause nobody dares to mention. There's a subtle calculus in play. Keeping cap flexibility isn't just about dollars. It's about signaling to external sharks circling the market that the Lakers may still be poised for a blockbuster, holding cards close to their vest as they eye late-season buyout bargains or blockbuster trade flames. It's a high-stakes game of brinkmanship, where loyalty competes with pragmatism, with every move scrutinized through the lens of championship viability. And don't think for a second that the ghost of past dynasties isn't whispering in the halls, like when the Lakers hesitated before committing to Pau Gasol, or the patient surgical craft that built the 2020 bubble champions. This franchise is steeped in legacy, forged in moments where patience and risk collided in epic fashion, and that legacy is both a mentor and a tormentor in this moment. Because now, imagine the alternative. Rui walks away, or the Lakers pull. The plug in the mid-season frenzy fueled by frustration or opportunism. The ripple effect is seismic, minutes shuffled, rotations altered, confidence fractured. Could this domino chain unravel not just this season, but the fragile blueprint for talent development and cap management that's barely begun to take shape? And then there's the human element, the locker room vibe as morale strains under the uncertainty. Veterans anchored in self-preservation, young guns hungry but on edge, and coaching staff trying to spin harmony from potential chaos. The daily grind watching Rui step onto the floor with that mix of raw power and pointed aggression becomes a barometer for the entire franchise's soul. Are we building or burning bridges? How do you build dynasty chemistry when the roster's cage rattled by too many "what's next" questions? That electric tension is mirrored outside Cleveland's downtown LA bars, packed with diehards pounding fists on tables, eyes glued to every tweet, every whisper, anxious but still hopeful. The air thick with anticipation, like before a Game 7 in the NBA Finals. Fans clutching their drinks tighter, scrolling faster, clinging to rumors like life rafts in the storm of uncertainty. And here's the kicker. The stakes aren't just about wins or losses this season. They are about defining the very identity of Lakers basketball in the next crucial decade. Will this franchise recommit to that fiery ethos of defense, grit, sacrifice, and smart, relentless hustle that powered earlier glories? Or will it morph into a spotlight-chasing superstar system, gambling with cap space and roster pieces in an increasingly volatile NBA ecosystem? The pressure is telling, the conversation non-stop, and the clock ticking down with the ominous certainty of a shotgun blast, signaling the start of a war no one is willing to lose. It's not just a story about whether Rui signs. It's a saga of loyalty tested, legacies challenged, and the eternal hunger of a city yearning to see purple and gold rise from the ashes of uncertainty into championship silver and glory. As someone who's bled Lakers purple for as long as I can remember, who's screamed in triumph and tragedy, I can tell you this feels like the moment before fate makes its brutal choice, the scalpel or the hammer, the embrace or the exile. I'm not convinced that the front office's silence is a calm strategy. This feels turbulent, volatile, a pressure cooker ready to blow in either direction. I want Rui back. Hell, I believe he deserves that chance, but I'm also bracing for a fallout that could redefine this franchise in ways we're only beginning to grasp. So here's the unflinching question hanging over all of us as the Lakers prepare to tip off yet another season of hope, heartbreak, and unrelenting drama. Will Rui Hachimura's return signal the dawn of a new era or become the somber pivot, point marking the last breath of for sure something beautiful that just slipped through our fingers?